Beneath the calm surface of our world, there are places where beauty hides danger, and silence whispers warnings only the wise can hear. Far away off the coast of Brazil lies a small green speck on the map, but it is unlike anywhere else on Earth. Ilha da Quimada Grande, more famously known as Snake Island, is forbidden for almost everyone. From the air, it appears peaceful, covered in dense jungle and surrounded by turquoise waters. But step onto its shores, and you step into a world ruled by death. It is home to thousands of golden lancehead vipers, one of the deadliest snakes known to man, whose venom can kill a human within hours. They lurk in the grass, in the branches, even on the ground where the sunlight touches. Legends say that anyone who dared to stay overnight never returned. The Brazilian government has banned visitors, but the snakes continue to multiply, making the island an eternal no-go zone. In another part of the world, far out in the Andaman Sea, there is an island not ruled by animals, but by people who refuse to let the outside world touch them. North Sentinel Island appears idyllic with white sands and swaying palms. But the moment an outsider approaches, the Sentinelese people make their message clear with arrows and spears. For thousands of years, they have lived in isolation, untouched by modern civilization, and fiercely protective of their way of life. Even the Indian government has declared it illegal to go near. Ships that wandered too close have been attacked. In 2018, a young missionary tried to step onto its shores. He never made it back. The island stands as a reminder that not all parts of Earth wish to be explored. Then there is a place where the danger is invisible. Chernobyl, in northern Ukraine. Once a thriving city, it became the site of the worst nuclear disaster in history in 1986. A reactor explosion released massive amounts of radiation, forcing over 100,000 people to flee. Today, nature has reclaimed the streets. Buildings stand frozen in time. Children's toys gather dust in empty classrooms, and an eerie silence blankets the land. But the air, the soil, and even the plants remain poisoned. Some adventurers sneak in for the thrill, but they carry radiation in their bodies when they leave. Chernobyl is not just a place of history, it is a living, breathing danger. Far from the cold ruins of Ukraine lies the hottest place on Earth, Death Valley in California, USA. The name is no exaggeration. Here the ground burns under the blazing sun, and temperatures can soar above 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Water evaporates faster than you can drink it. Travelers have perished here, underestimating the desert's thirst for life. In the stillness, the cracked earth stretches endlessly, and shadows seem to cling longer than they should. It is a place where nature itself challenges your right to survive. If Death Valley is a furnace of heat, then Oymyakon in Russia is the exact opposite extreme. The coldest inhabited place on the planet. It's a small remote village in Siberia, surrounded by endless white fields of snow, where the air feels heavy and sharp with frost. In the deep winter, temperatures here can plummet to -90 degrees Fahrenheit. At such cold, even metal becomes brittle, and the simple act of drawing a breath can sting like a blade in your lungs. Vehicles are left running all day, because if the engines are switched off, they will freeze solid in minutes. Ink freezes inside pens, and water tossed into the air becomes ice before it touches the ground. The few who live here move slowly, wrapped in layers upon layers, their faces hidden behind scarves and frost-covered fur. Life is a constant battle against the air itself, and anyone who arrives unprepared will learn very quickly that this land does not forgive mistakes. Even a short walk outside can be fatal if you misjudge the cold, but not all dangers come from ice or fire. Some places are dangerous because they seem like they belong to another planet altogether. The Danakil Depression in Ethiopia is one such place. From a distance, it shimmers in colors that seem almost unreal. Acid green pools, crimson water, and fields of bright yellow minerals crusted over the land. The ground here hisses with escaping gas, and steam vents roar from deep underground. This is one of the hottest places on Earth, with temperatures often above 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and yet the danger is not just the heat. The pools are filled with acid strong enough to dissolve flesh, and the air carries toxic gases that can choke you without warning. Volcanic fissures crisscross the ground, and the earth feels alive beneath your feet. People have described it as standing on the edge of another world. Beautiful, alien, and utterly deadly. In Tanzania, there is a lake that looks like it has been painted with fire. Lake Natron glows with a surreal reddish hue from the algae that thrive in its alkaline waters. The surface shimmers under the burning African sun, reflecting a beauty that draws you closer. But to touch it is to risk death. The water is so caustic, so filled with sodium carbonate and other minerals, that it can burn skin on contact. Birds that mistake its surface for a safe landing place are claimed by the lake, their bodies preserved in a calcified state as if turned to stone. Photographs exist of these petrified creatures, frozen in their final moments, their details so intact it's unsettling. The air around the lake smells faintly of chemicals, and the heat presses down, making the world shimmer. It is a place where life exists only for those adapted to its harsh chemistry, and humans are not among them. Then there is Japan's Aokigahara Forest, a place where the danger lies not in nature as physical extremes, but in the weight it places on the human mind. Situated at the base of the majestic Mount Fuji, this forest is thick with twisted trees, their roots tangled over jagged volcanic rock. The canopy above is so dense that sunlight struggles to touch the forest floor, and the silence here feels unnatural. Sounds are swallowed, and even your own footsteps seem muted. The forest is infamous as a destination for those who have lost their will to live, earning it the name Suicide Forest. Trails wind endlessly, splitting into smaller paths that loop back on themselves until you no longer know which direction you came from. Local authorities have placed signs urging visitors to think of their families, to reconsider, but still the forest has a pull that many cannot resist. For those who enter alone, it is easy to lose not just your way, but also your sense of reality. Some claim to feel an invisible presence watching them, as though the forest itself is aware of every soul that walks beneath its branches. In the towering shadows of the Himalayas lies a place where even the bravest mountaineers tread with caution, the death zone of Mount Everest. Here, above 26,000 feet, the air is so thin that every breath feels like you are drowning in the sky. Oxygen levels drop to 1/3 of what they are at sea level, and your body begins to shut down, cell by cell. Temperatures can plummet without warning, and the wind howls like a living thing, tearing at your clothes, clawing at your face. Even the most experienced climbers speak of hallucinations in the death zone, voices in the snow, figures in the mist. Many never make it back down, their bodies left where they fell, frozen in time as silent warnings to those who dare to follow. Yet still, every year, new climbers arrive, driven by a mix of ambition, pride, and the need to touch the sky, ignoring the mountains' whispered warning. Not everyone returns. Far away, at the southern tip of Africa, lies another kind of danger, not from nature, but from mankind. In certain neighborhoods of Cape Town, the sun may shine brightly on the ocean and the mountains, but in the streets shadows move differently. These are areas ruled by gangs where violence is as common as the salt in the air. Visitors who wander in without knowing the unspoken rules may never find their way back out. Strangers are noticed instantly, and the wrong glance, the wrong street, can change your fate in seconds. Stories are whispered of tourists who vanished without a trace, their last known location a street they should never have walked down. It's a reminder that danger is not always in the wilderness. Sometimes, it's in the heart of a city, hiding behind a smile. Then there is Snake Island's ocean twin, Ramri Island, in Myanmar. This tropical place is covered in mangroves and shimmering heat, but it holds a dark secret beneath its waters. During World War II, a battle forced hundreds of soldiers to retreat into the swamps, not realizing they had entered the hunting ground of saltwater crocodiles, the largest reptiles on Earth. What happened that night is considered one of the deadliest crocodile attacks in history. Survivors spoke of the water erupting with massive jaws, screams being cut short, and the river running red by morning. Even now, locals avoid certain stretches of swamp, claiming the crocodiles remember the taste of human flesh. But perhaps the most unsettling places are the ones that feel almost normal, until you look closer. In the ghost town of Pripyat near Chernobyl, playgrounds still stand, their paint faded but their swings unmoved for decades. Dolls lie in the dust, their eyes half closed, staring at nothing. The radiation may be invisible, but it lingers in every breath of air, every patch of soil. You can't see it, smell it, or touch it, but it's there, waiting. In places like this, the danger is not loud or sudden, it is patient. And so, across the earth, there are places we are drawn to out of curiosity, adventure, or the desire to push our limits. But the truth is, some places do not want us there. They keep their secrets, and they protect themselves in ways both obvious and unseen. From islands crawling with venom to cities where a single wrong turn can seal your fate, the world is as dangerous as it is beautiful. So the next time you dream of far-off lands and hidden wonders, remember, the most important survival skill is knowing when to turn back. If you've enjoyed this journey into the world's most dangerous places, make sure you leave a like to show your support, and subscribe so you won't miss our next deep dive into the mysteries of our planet, because there are still many stories left to tell. and some of them may be closer to home than you think.